on behalf of Hong Kong communities. And thank you, Paul, the organizer. I understand people might be questioning who I am and why I will be boasting to be speaking on behalf of Hong Kong communities. Very true, I'm just an average person with no special background or position. However, I hold a belief that nowadays, whoever holding same belief of universal values are entitled to representing Hong Kong. And I'm just an average one of them. So firstly, allow me to briefly refresh what's happening in Hong Kong recently. It started on the 9th of June. Over 1 million Hong Kongers took on streets protesting an extradition bill to be passed by Hong Kong government that will allow any Hong Konger to be sent for sentencing in mainland China court, where there is no independent judicial system at all, and the legal injustice are appalling. However, instead of hearing the people's voice to withdraw the bill, the CCP handpicked the Hong Kong government, sent a riot police to brutally crack down the peaceful protesters with tear gas, rubber bullets, and batons. More shockingly, along the track, Hong Kong government mobilized mafia mobsters like triads to take on protesters with unspeakable violences. At the same time, thugs from mainland police force came over, blending in Hong Kong police, attacking, assaulting protesters with brutalities we won't be able to find in any civilized societies. Hong Kong has totally plummeted from a nation's finest to a police state. Why the terror has come to Hong Kong? Civilians get beaten up by cops for no reasons. Protesters are brutally tortured by local cops under arrest and during the detentions. Since the movement started in June, Hong Kong police have arrested as many as 1,600 people, of which 30% were students. Since September, over 60 cases of death have been declared in a rush by Hong Kong police as non-suspicious. Many evidences are showing there is a silent slaughter being carried out in Hong Kong. We don't see tanks, no machine guns, no military uniform. We don't see massacre like the one happened 30 years ago in Tiananmen Square. However, the CCP backed and controlled Hong Kong government is doing exactly the same crackdown on pro-democracy movement in a COVID style. And yes, all of this is behind the Hong Kong government. Behind the Hong Kong government, there's a monster black hand called CCP, Chinese Communist Party, who brainwashed and controlled a largest group of people of 1.4 billion Chinese. CCP is now expanding its totalitarianism to Hong Kong and all over the world, including right here in Australia. China is now becoming Chinazi to the world. CHINAZY, Chinazi. So that's why today we're here together with the Vietnamese communities, voicing ourselves out against the CCP totalitarianism. We are here because we believe we are facing one common enemy, the CCP, which is now globally recognized as the greatest threat to the whole world. We appreciate that Vietnamese people in the past have suffered a severe social turmoil stirred up by its evil neighbor, CCP China. And I would say that's the start of major migration for Vietnamese to this country, Australia. You wanted to flee a regime that was under control and influence of CCP China. People simply want to live a life free from fear and oppressions. Furthermore, now Vietnam is facing the CCP's arbitrary claim over the South China Sea. CCP China is literally getting close to your doorway. The anti-CCP totalitarianism movement in Hong Kong is now traveling into its fourth month, facing crackdowns from all directions by all dirty means. However, Hong Kongers are now backing down. Many Hong Kongers are prepared to die for the cause they're fighting for. Many Hong Kong youngsters took their lives to demonstrate their determination. It is true enough, Hong Kong is now the very front line fighting CCP totalitarianism, which is now a global cause. There's no another place on this planet like Hong Kong, standing up to CCP totalitarianism with each other, whoever with like mind, you'll find you're not walking alone. So let me sum up my speech today. Standing for Hong Kong is standing for humanities. Standing with Hong Kong is standing with universal value. Standing for Hong Kong is standing for our shared future. We shall fight together. We will fight together.
Need to fight against communist regimes all around the world. It's very important for people to understand. From Russia. My grandparents were born in Russia. In 1917, my grandparents were forced to leave Russia because of communism. Their churches were being burnt, their homes were being burnt. They had to leave. They went into China. At that stage, China was not communist. My parents were born in China. My father in Harbin, my mum in Xinjiang, in the very province now where the Uyghur people, the atrocities are being done against the Uyghur people. That's where my mother grew up. She actually grew up with the Uyghur people and Chinese people and Russian people, all in the one village in Kuljar, in the province of Xinjiang. The reason they had to go there because Stalin had murdered millions of people. And my mother lost 3 of her siblings because of communism. She lost her father because of communism. And in the end, they had to leave China as China became a communist regime. And it was Australia that gave the opportunity for them to live in a country of democracy. And I know many of you have had very similar experiences, particularly the Vietnamese people who suffered under horrific oppression under a communist regime. And we know they still do. And it's important that we have a strong voice in Australia, that we explain to the next generation of people, to the media and to the public, that we can't just sit by and allow human rights to be destroyed in different parts of the world. And we can't just sit by and think that it's okay to work with these types of communist regimes, because it's not. They take away people's liberty, they take away people's independence, they take away their faith, their culture, and their opportunities. And we need to be vocal about this. And I want to thank you again, Paul, for organising today, to each of you for coming here today, because we must continue to remind people how dangerous these regimes are, how dangerous they are in terms of ensuring that we protect our human decency, our human rights, and protect people from all around the world. I know that we're fighting for people who are back in Vietnam who are being oppressed, for people who are in China who are being oppressed by these regimes. And it's important that we continue to be strong. So thank you for being here today, and thank you very much for inviting me here today.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you so much for your time on this Sunday that you have to leave the family to come to
100,000
join
transplants
us.
per
Thank
year.
you.
That is about 6 times the official total of about 10,000. And this means that there are unacknowledged organ sources in China, and the primary one being imprisoned Falun Gong practitioner. Please welcome to the stage Mr. John Diller, the representative of Falun Dafa Association.
Kính thưa quý vị, Hội Pháp Long Công đã đồng hành với cộng đồng người Việt tự do New South Wales rất lâu năm, và Pháp Long Công là một hội bị Tàu Cộng đàn áp một cách rất dã man, cắt nội tạng. Hồi năm ngoái, cộng đồng người Việt tự do đã được Pháp Long Công cho trình chiếu một cuốn phim với cộng đồng chúng ta. Đó là cái sự tàn nhẫn, tàn ác của Trung Cộng đã cắt nội tạng những người Pháp Long Công. Và lúc nào cộng đồng người Việt tự do cũng xuống đường cùng với họ. Những nơi có chống Tàu Cộng, chống vi phạm nhân quyền thì có cộng đồng người Việt tự do. Và ngày hôm nay chúng tôi rất hân hạnh được biết John và cũng là người chúng tôi đã đồng hành rất là nhiều lần trong những công cuộc chống Trung Cộng. Thành thật cảm ơn John. Thank you, John.
And tolerant of each other and all people.
Thank you very much, Paul.
That's the insane actions of the Communist Party that Australian people find hard to understand. So you've really got to look into what is the Communist Party? What is the Communist Party? Why is it like it is? Now I would refer you to an excellent publication called The 9 Commentaries on the Communist Party. You can see some banners here probably referring to that in Chinese. That was put out by the Epoch Times in November 2004. It's in English and Chinese, probably in Vietnamese, many languages. But once you understand what the Communist Party is, then it's easier to understand what you need to do to protect human rights in China, around the world, and even the influence of the Communist Party in Australia. Now, Pope John Paul II, the Polish Pope, he understood what communism was, and the Catholics in Poland were instrumental in getting rid of the communist regime. But he famously said that the communism is an anti-humanity force. Now, when you understand it like that, everyone is impacted by communism. Everyone. Even Australians here who think we can trade.
Spread the information about the movement. Please welcome to the stage Mrs. Mary Yon, representing Global Quit CCP Sydney.
Kính thưa quý vị, đây là một tổ chức Quit CCP, Quit Chinese Communist Party, bỏ đảng 1 triệu, 5 triệu, 10 triệu, 20 triệu đảng viên bỏ đảng. Chúng ta kêu gọi tất cả các đảng viên Cộng sản Việt Nam, Cộng sản Trung Quốc bỏ đảng. Và đây là một người của tổ chức Quit CCP. Mary Joy.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, all of the Chinese traditional politics had been destroyed, which caused the Chinese people to lose their national roots and life roots. Externally, the CCP has exported brutal system, theories, and experiences to other communist countries such as Vietnam, North Korea, Cuba, etc. Huge victims occurred. Only in China, between 1949 to 1989, there were 80 million Eurodice due to the variety of political activities. As per the book, 9 Commentaries on the Communist Party scene, the communist movement, which has made a big fanfare for over a century, has brought mankind only war, poverty, brutality, and dictatorship. With the collapse of the Soviet Union and the Eastern European Communist parties, these disasters and outrageous drama for 70 years. It is not the National Day, it is Memorial. We must not forget the victims of the communists who have sacrificed their lives for human rights. What we should do, please reject the communists in the world. Bring out the communist evil regime.
And we stand by against the crime against humanity.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Communist Party of China, down, down, down.
No, no, no.
The Communist Party of Vietnam, down, down.
No, no, no.
Yes, next will be the Federation for Democratic of China. This is a political group that advocates the democratization of China through opposition of the Communist Party and with the support of humanities. The Federation of Democratic China soon found a lot of support around the world.
He took the initiative at that time, and then U.S. President Bill Clinton follows. Since then, the neo-appeasement will start to rampant across the world. That offers the Chinese Communist regime a gold opportunity to become bigger and bigger and raise the enormous threat to the current world. Now, but we are lucky, we got someone who is under trouble. That was U.S. President Donald Trump. He is the first U.S. president for the past 70 years. The first one who had the guts and vision to tackle communist regime. Now communist regime is really under trouble. And also, Hong Kong people are so great, so brave. They started their action, demanding for democracy. Many years ago, maybe I would say 7 or 8 years ago, they started. That was the central, the occupying central, and they started a movement for 7